go on a blind date? Starts well enough. You know, there's some interesting conversation and the person's reasonably attractive. Well, after you've ordered dinner, you know, made the commitment of at least another hour or so, you begin to notice an occasional whiff of an unpleasant odor. You realize it's your date. You try to ignore it and keep your appetite, but your date starts sweating and putting her arms over her head. You can see that she's got hairy armpits. I mean, it looks like she's got a pair of yaks in a headlock. That hairy. And the yaks stink. I mean, we're talking about somebody needs to wash their ass kind of stink. But she doesn't apologize. She doesn't put her arms down. She starts waving them around even more vigorously and belching, talking with her mouth full, picking her nose and eating it. Then, just as you start thinking there's an end to this nightmare, Annie gets up from the table and walks over to you, yanks your chair back and stands in front of you, putting her legs on either side of yours, trapping you. She pulls her dress up to reveal not only that she has no underwear, but that Annie is in fact Danny. And both of those names, of course, rhyme with tranny. And Danny's bifurcated like a shark. Look it up. So Danny proceeds to grab the back of your head and ram both of his turgid appendages into your eyes while spitting on your forehead and saying, "Take it, fuck pig, take it." Unluckily for you, Danny not only has two of them, but they're not small. And after you've been blinded by them, he thrusts even deeper and skull fucks your brain into mush. After several minutes of this violation that seem like a lifetime, he leans back and spews rancid spunk up both of your nostrils, because he's got it in stereo like that. He laughs, and he hands you the bill for dinner. And then he wipes himself on your shirt, and calmly strolls away, still chuckling. Have you ever had something like that happen to you? Well, if you haven't, you can just watch Murderer. It's roughly the same thing, except that your blind date is this movie. You know, I'm getting a little tired of being so blithely insulted by films that are such absolute garbage that you wonder how on earth anybody who isn't whacked to the gills on K-Tai could ever think that it was worthwhile to try and make this movie, that this was actually something people would enjoy, or that it would have something resembling quality. Murderer's narrative revelation is one of the most idiotic, asinine, ridiculous, pretentious, and irredeemably moronic things I've ever heard of. And I've watched a movie called Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Well, during Murderer, in the cinema, I howled with derisive laughter at it. And I bet you will too.
我由細到大都唔會大，唔會老，10歲又係咁，20歲又係咁，30歲都係咁，直到我俾人拉咗醫院，先知道我依家一個病叫不老症。老症。
Really? What bothers me most about it is that the people responsible for this mess, oh Jesus, they carried on before and even after the movie was released as if they and their movie were the greatest things ever. How much arrogance does it take to think that there are stars behind the camera, and of course you're one of them? They carried on about how their film was something never before seen. Look. Well, it turns out there's a reason it was never seen before. Nobody else was fucking stupid enough to make the bad guy a 7-year-old with anti-aging sickness. You know, it's not a shortcoming to have missed coming up with that gem. It's not inferiority if nobody else had the hubris and innate ignorance to shit up the third act with an excruciatingly drawn-out reveal that was as tedious as it was fucking stupid. Anti-aging sickness? Really?
Nigga, fuck you! Fuck you!
As shitty as Murderer is, don't download it. There are links below. You can buy the movie. I can't really encourage you to do it, but I would rather that you do that than download it. Because at least then, when you buy it and you spend some money, you realize what a bunch of fucking idiots that made that movie, and it's easier to be angry if it cost you something. I had to sit in a cinema. I had to actually get up and go someplace to watch this movie. If you enjoy this review, please subscribe, because obviously I'm headed for an aneurysm or a heart attack or a stroke or something, and if you subscribe, you'll be among the first people to watch me absolutely just fall out. So please, subscribe.